Day 105, the end of week 15, and let me tell you, I love technology because I actually made this video already before, and then a friend of mine was nice to watch it beforehand, and then, or at least watch it when I put it online, and then tell me actually the sound doesn't work. So thank you, microphone, thank you, software, whatever. Let's get started again. Like I just said, this is the end of week 15, and I'm now at 219 films seen, and this week has been pretty, again, I mean, I always say that, but it has been interesting because I broke a personal best. I watched 7 films on Saturday alone in theaters. I'd never done this before, and this was pretty exhausting, starting at 9 a.m. and ending with the screening at 10 p.m. So getting home at 1 a.m. and then next day starting off for 9:30 screening of Baywatch. Now, before I get into Baywatch to talk about an American release, I have to say that I saw some great classic films with Henry Fonda, yeah, that's actually his name. But also Marlene Dietrich, A Foreign Affair, that was a great film, and Stage Fright from Alfred Hitchcock. Don't yell at me. Sorry for that mistake. And also 12 Angry Men by Sidney Lumet, which were all those 3 films were great films. And there was actually a pleasant surprise among the French new releases. There were some boring, bad, I don't like, not very well done French comedies, but there was a pleasant surprise called Le Manoir, which was a French comedy where you had basically some apparently real life YouTubers and bloggers who came together and made this movie, which was a kind of horror comedy about a group of friends that decide to spend their New Year's Eve in a mansion, and then they get killed one after the other. So this was really funny. I had a good time. It was a pleasant surprise, and especially because before watching that film, that was the last film of the day for me on Sunday, I saw in the morning Baywatch. Now, Baywatch. I don't like talking trash about films, so I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say that this movie sucks. I'm not going to say that this film is horrendous. I'm not going to say it's absolutely not funny and just awful to see and to go through that. I'm not going to say those things because, I mean, when you think about it, whether it's a director, a producer, a writer, actors, when they get into a project, they want the film to be good. So, you don't want to hurt their feelings by saying, well, actually, you wanted this to be good, but this sucks. So I'm not going to say those things. What I'm going to say, however, is that it is at 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm going to say that I understand the critics that didn't give it positive reviews. It is at B+ at CinemaScore. It had a budget of $69 million, and I think dollars, and I think domestically it made $59 million, and worldwide about $139, which is not enough for the studio Paramount to get even regarding the budget, and especially not enough to make a sequel. I'm going to say those things. You can, interpret them as you like. What I'm going to try to say is that there are positive things about this film has positive things. Sorry, it's late. Gosh, there are positive things about this film. First of all, the introduction. The first sequence is hilarious. I laughed out loud, honestly. There are some very hot chicks, sorry for the expression, but that's how it's appropriate in this instance, who wear bathing suits and are sometimes wet. So if you are into those things, that might be nice. And you had a great chemistry between The Rock Johnson and Zac Efron, even though the dialogues and the exchanges did not work that well. You saw that they were trying, and they are both very charismatic actors, and sometimes you had some funny moments and funny names that were used by The Rock to qualify Zac Efron, especially with his real life, Zac Efron's real life acting background. So you had those things, but beyond that, you can give A for effort and A for trying, but otherwise, go see anything else, I'd say. Anyway, that was a great warm-up for Transformers, because I think that Transformers might be a bit more difficult to find positive things about, but I may be wrong and may be amazing. So let's talk about this more next week. God, hope I'll be fitter, and that I hope that the technology will work with me that time around. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Salut.